Both you guys, it didn't seem like the offense was ever able to get anything going tonight. Talk about that, please.
I don't know. We lost a battle up front, plain and simple, and yeah, you could just tell. I mean, it's really frustrating, and yeah, I just don't think we executed well up front. Nobody did. So, and that if you can't get that going, then you can't get much else. So.
Jake, just as far as downfield looks and over the course of the game, I mean, was it just a coverage thing, not having enough time? Were you able to see openings downfield at all over the course of the game, or was it just kind of them forcing you to kind of keep checking?
They had a good plan, and I think that they beat us in all phases of us versus them. I don't think it was not having enough time. I don't think it was guys not getting open. I just think it was a collection of kind of the whole deal. We just were not executing, the way that we should.
Blake, was it as simple as they were just too physical for you guys tonight, or did they throw some things at you that maybe you just didn't anticipate seeing?
I just don't think we played our game, and we still got to watch the film and everything, obviously. But just speaking from how I feel like I played, I just didn't do what I knew or I know I should be doing. If that makes sense. I wasn't doing the right stuff, and that just hurts us. And I think that I speak for the whole line when we just weren't doing what we were coached.
For either of you guys, can you just talk about the defensive performance you guys had? I know when Jaden got that pick six, it seemed like he might get a little bit of momentum, but how well did those guys play and give you guys a chance to get back into the game?
Yeah, I mean, they had a phenomenal performance. I think they played outstanding. They gave us every opportunity to go and win the game, and we didn't do it. I think that, Washington's a really good team, defensively, but offensively as well. And for our defense to go out there and play the game as they did a great job, and we just didn't hold up our end.
Jake, did it surprise you that you guys weren't able to move the ball more than you could?
I mean, yeah, of course. I think we had 120 yards of offense. Like, that's shocking, So definitely very frustrating, very disappointing, and, not anywhere close to our best performance for sure.
Jaden, can you just talk about your interception? What did you see on that play, and what were you looking for there?
We went over that same play in practice a few times this week, so actually with the same defensive call. So when they lined up in that formation and motioned, I just made a check that we were coached to do, and as soon as the ball was snapped, just sprinted out to the flats and happened to throw it there.
Avery, I know it's obviously it's a frustrating result for you guys, but defensively, this is the best performance by far you've put in this year. I mean, what has been just the biggest change over the last few weeks, where especially on third down? I mean, you're getting guys off the field in a way that you just weren't earlier in the year.
Guys just playing hard. That's it. There's not really much to it. Just everybody executing, doing their jobs, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. But we've been getting off the field lately.
Jaden, to play that well defensively and not be able to win the game, how does that feel to you?
I mean, we played well, but we could have played better. We had a lot of talk about defense played well and the offense didn't play well, but I don't really look at it like that. Like, we only focus on our side of the ball, and I feel like we left some plays out there. We allowed them to have some big gains and kind of gave them some stuff as well. So we're going to go back and watch the film and just critique ourselves and try to play better next game.
Let me start with congratulating UW. They got some good players over there, some good coaches. Thought they played really well, competitive and physical. Give them some credit. Appreciate our defensive effort. I will say that. I thought those guys came to play, gave us a chance really all the way through the game, getting some stops. Obviously, the turnover and scoring on defense, forcing them to field goals, and that was good. I appreciate the crowd, especially on defense. Some third downs, thought it got loud, forced some false starts and things, and so appreciate the crowd that way. And then obviously offensively just dominated. I don't know how else you say it. Nothing going there. Physicality at the line of scrimmage. We just got nothing going. And which was difficult to swallow because I know that group's been working, playing at a high level, but ran into a defense that really shut us down. And give credit to UW.
Coach, I don't think I've ever seen an offense go 8 yards and no first downs and a half. Was that just Washington? I mean, you guys, everything you tried, nothing seemed to work.
Yeah, they had our number. Again, we had some opportunities to win some one-on-ones. We didn't do that, whether we're talking a receiver on a DB or a left guard on a D lineman. It showed up.
How much does familiarity play into that? I mean, you've been on that sideline. Jimmy and Pete are still there. I mean, does them being familiar with tendencies or scheme play into having your guys' number offensively?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, each year is new, doing some different things. This offense we're running this year is not exactly what we were running at UW, and vice versa defensively. They're always tweaking some schemes.
Jonathan, you guys have always been pretty good at halftime making the adjustments, but what happened in the second half? It was all 3 and outs. And
Yeah.
Did you do anything differently at all?
We wanted to run the ball coming out of halftime, to be honest with you. It felt like, Jamar had a couple good carries in the first half, and we didn't block the first play on the second half correctly. We cut 2 guys loose, tried to come back and run it again. And then I think another thing that played into it was the tackles for loss and sacks and getting behind the sticks. And then we got behind the sticks and tried to throw it, and we didn't pass pro very well and took some more sacks. It's tough.
You made a couple fourth down attempts and then the onside kick to start the second half. Was that an indication that you felt like you needed to have some sort of spark to your offense, or
No
what were you
question.
thinking
Well,
there?
some of the fourth down, getting close to that 50-yard line, we're going to err on being aggressive. Again, just wanted to get a spark for the offense there. Kickoff wasn't executed at the start of the second half, but didn't know how many opportunities we were going to have to kick off. And so we tried to shoot our bullet then.
No, you never want to see a good defensive performance go to waste like this, but how big of a step was this for this defense, especially against a Washington team that's been impressive at points?
I think we'll gain some confidence from it because they have been scoring a bunch of points. UW has, and those guys played physical. I thought they responded to tackling from last week defensively. We tackled better. Line of scrimmage was better. I thought we contested in the secondary better and made some plays. Got a couple of picks. I mean, so there is some positives. Just like any, we win, lose, there are some things to look at to gain confidence from. But obviously there's a ton to clean up.
Coach, speaking of confidence, how do you get it back for your offense now going forward?
Well, we're going to watch this tape, take a deep dive and looking at it and where we got exposed, different areas. And then I think it's our same process weekly. We go back, watch this tape. We're going to try to learn from it and then move forward. We've got 3 great opportunities headed toward us, and we got to keep on moving.
I know you mentioned earlier in the week that you guys aren't really thinking about that 6-win number there, but I mean, has there been any discussion amongst your guys? I mean, does that play into games like this as far as tightness
No.
or feeling what that moment might be with 3 games left too?
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't. The approach to get to 6, you got to get to 5, and so we're all about the 5 right now. And the way we practiced, I know our mindset was that way. I thought we actually practiced pretty well offensively, and they didn't show us a bunch of new looks out there. It's just we lost a bunch of one-on-ones. Thanks, guys.